You know how everyone used to laugh at Chinese motorcycles? Yeah, those days are officially over. CF Moto didn't just stumble into the adventure bike market. They systematically dismantled every excuse the big brands had for charging premium prices. We're talking about a manufacturer that went from making basic commuter bikes to building machines that are giving BMW, Ducati, and Triumph engineers serious sleepless nights. The MT Series evolution tells a story that should terrify every established motorcycle manufacturer. From the humble MT 450 to the game-changing 1000 MTX launching soon, CF Moto proved that premium performance doesn't require premium pricing. And the best part? They're just getting started. The foundation, MT 450 and early market entry. Let's go back to 2019 when CF Moto dropped the MT 450 into a market that wasn't exactly rolling out the welcome mat for Chinese adventure bikes. The MT 450 packed a 450 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine putting out 44 horsepower, respectable numbers that put it right between beginner-friendly and genuinely capable. But here's what nobody expected. The build quality was actually good. Compare that to what was available at the time. The Honda CB500X was dominating the entry-level adventure segment, with 47 horsepower from its 471 cubic centimeter parallel twin, but it was priced around $7,000 to $8,000 depending on the market. The KTM 390 Adventure offered similar displacement with 43 horsepower and that distinctive KTM orange, but came with KTM pricing to match. The MT 450 rolled in at roughly $5,500 to $6,000 fully equipped, and delivering 85% of the performance at 70% of the price. The skepticism was real though. Western motorcycle journalists approached the MT 450 like they were handling a suspicious package. The assumption was simple: cheap Chinese bike equals cheap Chinese quality. But something interesting happened when people actually rode these things. The frame was solid, the suspension worked better than expected, and most importantly, they didn't fall apart after the first 1,000 miles. CF Moto made some brilliant strategic moves during this period that most people didn't notice. Instead of trying to develop everything in-house like typical budget manufacturers, they went straight to established suppliers. The MT 450 featured components from companies that were already working with major European and Japanese brands. This wasn't corner-cutting, this was smart sourcing that gave them access to proven technology without the development costs. The early sales numbers told a story that Honda and KTM executives definitely noticed. In Southeast Asian markets, the MT 450 started outselling established competitors within its first year. Thailand alone saw over 8,000 MT 450 sales in 2020, numbers that represented real market share being taken from Japanese manufacturers who thought they had those markets locked up. But the real validation came from actual riders putting serious miles on these bikes. Adventure touring forums started seeing MT 450 owners posting trip reports from multi-thousand-mile journeys. These weren't short weekend rides. We're talking about Trans-America trail attempts, European touring adventures, and serious off-road expeditions. The reliability feedback was consistently positive, with owners reporting 20,000, 30,000, even 40,000 miles without major mechanical issues. The service network expansion was equally impressive. CF Moto didn't just dump bikes into markets and hope for the best. They established proper dealer networks with trained technicians and readily available parts. The warranty programs were aggressive too, 3 to 5 years depending on the market, matching or exceeding what established brands offered. Suddenly, buying a CF Moto didn't feel like taking a risk on an unknown quantity. What really caught industry attention was the owner satisfaction ratings. Independent surveys started showing MT 450 owners reporting higher satisfaction scores than some premium European brands. These weren't paid testimonials or marketing fluff. These were real riders who had chosen the MT 450 over established alternatives and were genuinely happy with their decision. By 2021, CF Moto had achieved something remarkable with the MT 450. They'd established themselves as a legitimate player in the entry-level adventure market. But more importantly, they'd proven that Chinese manufacturing could deliver quality and reliability that matched traditional motorcycle powers. The foundation was set for something much bigger. The Power Jump, MT 700 and serious competition. The MT 700 launch in 2021 wasn't just another displacement bump. It was CF Moto's declaration that they were done playing in the kiddie pool. The 693 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine pumping out 75 horsepower put them directly in the crosshairs of some very established and very confident competitors. This wasn't about being a budget alternative anymore. This was about being better. Let's talk numbers, because this is where things got really interesting for Yamaha, Honda, and Suzuki executives. The Yamaha Tenere 700, widely considered the gold standard for mid-displacement adventure bikes, produces 72 horsepower from its 689 cubic centimeter parallel twin. The MT700 matched that power while undercutting Yamaha's $11,000 price tag by roughly $2,500 to $3,000 in most markets. The Honda NX500, with its 47 horsepower from a 471 cubic centimeter twin, suddenly looked seriously underpowered by comparison. Even the Suzuki V-Strom 650, a proven long-distance tourer with 67 horsepower, found itself outgunned by the newcomer from China. But raw power numbers only tell part of the story. The MT700's engine character was what really surprised people. That parallel twin delivered smooth, linear power that made it incredibly easy to ride both on-road and off-road. The torquey curve was fat and usable, giving riders confidence in technical terrain without the peaky delivery that made some competitors intimidating for newer adventure riders. This wasn't just about beating spec sheets. This was about creating a better riding experience. The competition world took notice fast. CF Moto sponsored teams started showing up at regional rally events across Europe and Asia with production-based MT700s, and they weren't just participating for publicity. These bikes were finishing in top 10 positions against factory-supported teams running much more expensive machinery. In 2022, an MT700 finished third overall in the European Adventure Rally Championship, beating teams on BMW GS models, costing twice as much. That competition success translated directly to real-world credibility. Adventure riding forums exploded with reports from MT700 owners tackling serious long-distance routes. The Transamerica Trail, European Alpine passes, Moroccan desert crossings, these bikes were proving themselves in conditions that would challenge any adventure motorcycle. Riders consistently reported impressive comfort over long distances, with the ergonomics and seat design allowing 500-mile days without major discomfort. The reliability feedback was even more impressive than the MT400's track record. MT700 owners started posting maintenance logs showing 50,000, 60,000, even 70,000 miles with nothing more than routine service. The parallel twin engine proved nearly bulletproof, with conservative tuning that prioritized longevity over peak performance numbers. Oil change intervals stretched to 6,000 miles. Valve adjustments weren't needed until 24,000 miles, and major component failures were virtually unheard of. CF Moto's dealer network expansion accelerated during this period. They weren't just adding dealerships, they were adding quality dealerships with proper service facilities and trained technicians. The warranty programs became even more aggressive, with some markets offering 5-year coverage that exceeded what BMW and KTM provided. Parts availability improved dramatically, with common service items readily available and major components rarely backordered. The industry response was telling. Yamaha fast-tracked updates to the Tenere 700, adding features that had been standard on the MT700 from launch. Honda introduced more aggressive pricing on the NX500 and began development of larger displacement alternatives. Suzuki started offering extended warranties and financing programs to compete with CF Moto's value proposition. The Chinese manufacturer wasn't just competing anymore. They were forcing the entire mid-displacement adventure market to respond. By 2023, the MT700 had achieved something unprecedented. It had earned genuine respect from motorcycle journalists who had initially dismissed Chinese manufacturers. Long-term test reviews consistently praised the bike's reliability, capability, and value proposition. The MT700 wasn't just a good bike for the money, it was a genuinely good bike that happened to cost less than its competitors. The 800CR Revolution, MT800 Sport, Explorer, and MTX. The 800cc lineup launch in 2023 was CF Moto's masterclass in market segmentation. Instead of building one bike to rule them all, they created 3 distinct machines targeting different rider needs. The MT800 Sport focused on road performance with sport touring ergonomics. The MT800 Explorer emphasized off-road capability with long travel suspension and rugged styling. And the 800 MTX? That was their direct assault on the premium adventure bike establishment. Let's start with what all three bikes shared: a 799 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine producing 95 horsepower and 63 pound-feet of torque. These weren't incremental improvements over the MT700. This was a quantum leap that put CF Moto directly in competition with bikes costing $15,000 to $20,000. The engine character remained true to CF Moto's philosophy: smooth, reliable, and tuned for real-world usability rather than dyno bragging rights. The premium component integration was where CF Moto made their boldest statement yet. Brembo brakes became standard across the entire 800cc lineup, the same Brembo components found on BMW GS models and Ducati Multistradas. KYB suspension handled damping duties with the same basic architecture used by Honda on the Africa Twin. Bosch supplied the electronics package, including ABS, traction control, and ride-by-wire throttle systems that matched or exceeded what European manufacturers were offering. Here's where the numbers got really interesting for BMW, Honda, and MV Agusta. The Honda Africa Twin 1100, long considered the sensible choice for serious adventure riders, produces 101 horsepower from its 1,084 cubic centimeters twin and typically sells for $15,000 to $17,000. The 800 MTX, with its 95 horsepower, delivered 95% of the Africa Twin's performance at roughly $12,000 to $13,000 fully equipped. The BMW F850 GS, producing 90 horsepower from its 853 cubic centimeter twin, suddenly found itself outgunned by the Chinese newcomer while commanding a $2,000 to $3,000 premium. The MV Agusta Enduro Veloce 800 presented an even more direct comparison. MV's exotic 798 cubic centimeters triple produces 110 horsepower and carries all the prestige of Italian engineering. But at $16,000 to $18,000, it was pricing itself out of reach for many riders. The 800 MTX offered 85% of the performance, 100% of the reliability, and superior component quality at 30% less cost. The technology integration was genuinely impressive. Full-color TFT displays became standard, offering smartphone connectivity, navigation integration, and comprehensive trip computer functions. The ride modes weren't just marketing gimmicks. They actually changed power delivery, throttle response, and traction control intervention in meaningful ways. The ABS systems included off-road modes that allowed controlled wheel slip for serious dirt riding while maintaining safety on pavement. Competition results validated the engineering immediately. The 800 MTX started appearing in major international rally events, not just regional competitions. Factory-supported teams challenged for podium positions at events where BMW, KTM, and Honda had previously dominated. In 2024, an 800 MTX finished second overall in the Hellas Rally, one of Europe's most demanding off-road events, beating factory BMW and KTM entries. The off-road capability improvements were substantial across all three 800cc models. Longer suspension travel, improved ground clearance, and better approach angles made them genuinely capable in technical terrain. The Explorer variant pushed these improvements further, with 21-inch front wheels, knobby tires, and suspension tuning that prioritized off-road performance over on-road comfort. Real-world owner feedback confirmed what the competition results suggested. Adventure riders were taking these bikes on transcontinental journeys and reporting impressive reliability and comfort. The 800 MTX proved particularly popular with long-distance tourists, offering the comfort and reliability needed for multi-thousand-mile adventures without the premium pricing of established alternatives. By 2024, CF Moto had successfully transitioned from budget alternative to legitimate premium competitor. The 800cc lineup wasn't just competing with established brands, it was often beating them on performance, features, and value simultaneously. The motorcycle industry's old assumptions about Chinese manufacturing quality were officially dead. The ultimate challenge: 1000 MTX and premium market disruption. Now we get to the main event, the 1000 MTX. This isn't just another displacement bump. This is CF Moto's declaration of war on the premium adventure bike establishment. The 997 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine produces 120 horsepower and 75 pound-feet of torque, numbers that put it directly between the BMW R 1250 GS and the Ducati Multistrada V2 in terms of raw output. But here's the kicker. CF Moto is targeting a price point around $15,000 to $16,000 fully loaded. Let's put that in perspective. The BMW R1250GS, still considered the gold standard for large displacement adventure bikes, produces 136 horsepower from its 1,254 cubic centimeter boxer twin and commands $20,000 to $22,000 depending on options. The Ducati Multistrada 5.2, with its 113 horsepower from a 937 cubic centimeter L-twin, sits around $17,000 to $19,000. The Triumph Tiger 1200, producing 148 horsepower from its 1,160 cubic centimeter triple, starts at $18,000 and climbs rapidly with options. The 1000 MTX delivers competitive performance at a price that undercuts all of them significantly. The electronics package on the 1000 MTX matches or exceeds what these premium brands offer. Full-color TFT display with smartphone integration, multiple ride modes including off-road specific settings, cornering ABS, lean angle sensitive traction control, and even semi-active suspension on higher trim levels. These aren't simplified versions of premium electronics. These are the real deal, sourced from the same suppliers that BMW and Ducati use. The component list reads like a premium bike parts catalog. Brembo Stylema calipers handle braking duties, the same units found on the latest BMW GS models. Marzocchi suspension components replace the KYB units from the 800 SOE-C models, offering better damping control and adjustability. Pirelli Scorpion Rally STR tires come standard, the same rubber that Ducati specs on the Multistrada Enduro. What makes this particularly threatening to established manufacturers is the long-distance touring capability. CF Moto designed the 1000 MTX specifically for transcontinental adventures, with a 25-liter fuel tank providing 400-plus mile range, comfortable ergonomics for all-day riding, and luggage mounting points that accommodate serious touring loads. The seat height is adjustable, the windscreen is tool-free adjustable, and the ergonomic triangle works for riders from 5 feet 6 inches to 6 feet 4 inches without modifications. Early test rides from motorcycle journalists have been overwhelmingly positive. The engine delivers smooth, linear power that makes the bike incredibly easy to ride in all conditions. The suspension soaks up road imperfections without wallowing in corners. The electronics are intuitive and effective without being intrusive. Most importantly, the build quality feels premium in ways that would have been impossible from Chinese manufacturers just 5 years ago. This represents an existential threat to BMW, Ducati, Triumph, and MV Agusta. The 1000 MTX offers 90% of their performance, 100% of their features, and superior reliability at 70% of their price. For riders who want premium adventure bike capability without premium pricing, CF Moto has created the perfect solution. The question isn't whether the 1000 MTX will succeed. It's whether the established manufacturers can adapt fast enough to compete. Conclusion and call to action. The MT Series evolution proves that premium performance doesn't require premium pricing anymore. CF Moto systematically dismantled every excuse the big brands had for charging twice as much while delivering half the value. From the MT400 to the game-changing 1000 MTX, they've rewritten the rules for what adventure riders should expect from their motorcycles. If you want to see more breakdowns of how underdogs are disrupting established industries, hit subscribe and check out our video on electric motorcycles challenging Harley-Davidson.